If I came to you for healing, you don't have a stethoscope, you don't do x-rays, or you don't chop people open or anything like that, or you don't give us drugs, pharmaceuticals and all that. What's your modality? How would you approach a healing situation?
As I've just done. As I've just done. Like I said, as I've just done. So, of course, it's the introduction. And then, of course, what the person wants to share. Remember, to open that doorway, that phone call or that doorway, because people remotely, I do remote healings. It's opening that doorway for starters to say, yes, I have permission to speak not only to yourself, but your spirit and the collective with you. That soul is going to talk like what we're sharing now about traumas or experiences. I prefer not to use that word, so I apologize. For situations that have affected themselves and others. So it will go with that conversation and what they're seeking, what they want to understand about why they have gone through these experiences. And like I said to the beautiful lady, past lives, so it's a duality. We all have past lives. We've all have duality. There's not one soul that says, no, that's never existed. It's been the duality. So parents can be your daughter from a past life, and etc. So it's very vast. So it's an individual soul healing. So your question is a bit tricky to answer, but it's not, but it is, if that makes sense. Because a soul will come and it's for that soul's healing. So it's very unique. There's traumas, so the trauma will go back to maybe when she's 1 year old, and some souls can remember that when they were in their mother's womb, they can remember things. So, if you want to say trauma, so that healing will take you back to that moment. For the words that were spoken, so a mother, when she's having her thoughts and feelings, some parents will say, I really don't want this child. I dislike, and I'm just saying it very lightly, I don't like this child, why do I, why is it here? So that energy is being transferred. So the trauma will go back to that moment. That will be healed. So in the healing, what words are spoken, we recant that word because it's an energy that has hurt the heart. So it's attached to the heart chakra. Now, if there's been, for example, sexual abuse, so we are the sacral, there's a connection here with that energy that has to be unattached, that has to be unattached. So there's levels in the healing session. And then if there's dimensions where we've lived and there's a trauma there with other beings, and there's a healing has to occur there. And what will happen, our physical body, for example, eczema, is from a past life. Our birthmarks are from a past life, very traumatic. So the bigger the birthmark, the bigger the trauma. So the soul will come and will remember and see it. So it's very, the human mind, like I said, it's very, for that human to see that moment themselves being murdered or blown up from, say, civil war or from any kind of trauma. The mind is going, I don't want to see this. The spirit is saying, yes, you must, to heal, to go forward on this beautiful journey that you are so divine and so strong. So when that healing occurs, that connection, that energetic connection is severed. The divine light, it goes up. That soul is free because remember it's a duality. So that soul also is struggling because it's asking for forgiveness. Whether if it's reincarnated or if it's still in spirit realm, that soul is also saying, I want forgiveness. I need to have forgiveness. So when you do that, it's not only for self, it's for that soul or sometimes souls that probably murdered you in that past life. And people will get to see it. So in my healings in America, this was happening with souls. And what happens, sometimes our spirit will leave our avatar, won't be connected to us. The soul, the spirit will come back because it's saying, I'm now back. I'm with you. and it's a powerful healing because you are doing it. I'm on your side. I'm supporting you by saying, it's okay, I love you. I'm not judging you. And I'm equal with you. And of course, people will see their guardians, and sometimes it'll be your grandfather, grandmothers. It can, whatever comes in that healing is for you to see and feel. And so when we have a cut on our physical body, it's actually going layers. It's not just our physical body. It's our spirit body. It's layers into the energetic field. So this is why, if you can recall the grandmothers and the great-grandfathers saying, I don't want to go to doctors, I don't want to be cut open. Why did they say that? In Africa, we had our parents always, our grandparents talk about these things, even my mom, I don't want, and there was a purpose because they knew that cutting the physical is beyond just the physical body. It's actually, and I've experienced it, that's why I'm talking about it. I've experienced it with my operation. And so when you cut it, energies also go in there and sit. So they can hook onto you as well. And you'll get pain and you think, why is this so painful? I had that experience with my operation and couldn't understand, why is it not healing? This is so painful. This is just, wow, okay. And I had to learn and experience to understand so that today I can say that's the reason as well. So it's not just a saying from the old people. It's the same thing when they took, if you took a photograph and the old generation was like, no, my soul's been taken. That is so true because people have the gift of being very mischievous. Because, that expression, the eyes are the key to the soul. Very true. There's people, that do very naughty things.
Excuse me, Diana. My name is Anna, so that is a shortened version of Diana. That's how I knew that you were going to have a message for me. When you were speaking, I got a question. So is it necessary in order to find a life path, a life mission, a life call to heal first, or because we are inheriting so many
Lifetimes.
So is it necessary to heal first in order to fulfill what we want to fulfill, or it's by fulfilling life and following the life path we are healing that? Because I came from Croatia, which is totally like European country, in Australia, and I did some shamanic journey to ask why I'm here, because I feel like I'm stuck between worlds. I feel so unsettled even after 5 years. So I'm thinking, if I inherited so much of pollutions from the past lives and prior generations, do I have to heal this first in order to find what is my life path?
To understand your journey now, as that expression is, we've got to understand the past. To understand you in the now is to understand your past. So yes, to heal you. So those past lives that are still connected, absolutely, we are to heal those past lives. You'll have a reflection, but you won't have the judgment of yourself in that past life anymore. Once you understand the duality, that it's a two-way. We've done things to others. So you know how people say, well, I was murdered, I didn't do nothing. Well, you did probably something to that soul or souls in the past. So in this timeline, it's carried through. And once you heal it, like I was saying, that energetic energy is now ascended. Yours is now also within now. But you'll have a reflection, but you won't have that negative thought and feeling about it. You'll understand better. You'll deal with it better.
So do we have to heal first?
Absolutely, heal self. Yes.
And then fulfill our life path.
You're doing both at the same time. It's not separated. Does that make sense? It's not separated. It's like people will say, well, I don't care for a spiritual life. It's not important. I've heard souls tell me that. It's not important. But it is. It's the balance and the harmony with both, above and so below. You cannot have the one without the other. So it's finding the balance in harmony with it. And then, of course, most important is not judging yourself or others. So it's the old paradigms that were taught is to unteach yourself the old way of thinking. It's so programmed to us. Hence, when I said, when you at that moment in meditation, or just meditation, you can meditate all day. You know, we've been taught, oh, you got to sit and wait for half an hour or an hour to meditate and connect with God's source. Very untrue. You can meditate all day and walk and talk to God all day. Why do you have to wait for half an hour to talk to your higher self? Talk to it all day. You know, my car is kind of stuck right now. So, you know what, God's source, this is a gift from you. You know, seek me solution to get my car started. I'll give you a little story of my mother, what she used to say. Like I said, a lot of my sayings I was taught. It was just a natural thing growing up in Africa. And my mom would say, she just had this way, okay? So to understand about African people, they just have a way of speaking. And she would say, you know, because my nickname is Gizzy. And she'd say, Gizzy, and we never talked back to our parents. We never questioned our parents. We listened. Because, you know, there was a big no-no. So when she would say this, she'd say, there's the mountain. And I'd say, okay, you know, you're listening. And she'd say, you can go over the mountain, you can go through the mountain, you can go around the mountain, and you can go under the mountain. And I never understood that for years. Go over the mountain. What does that mean? And she never explained. She just said that. And she said, you'll know one day. She did that all the time with me. And I was like, okay. So in that mountain is your situation. Going over the situation is one solution. Going around it is another solution. Going through it is another solution. Going under it. So there's always a solution to your situations in life. So that's what her teachings were teaching me. In all these moments that we think that we were taught there's no such thing as a solution. There always is, always have been, always will be. Because you are God's source.
Can I ask you another question? What's your take on whether we made some vows in previous lifetimes that are having a negative effect on us in this lifetime? Things that, like, you know, maybe you were a nun or a monk in the past life and you had chastity vows or poverty vows and you're struggling all the time to be wealthy in this life. So are we able to definitely recant them and reverse them?
Yes.
Send them back?
Yes, because yes to all of that. So hence the ceremony that I do with the soul, which is the ancient way, hence the Lemurian teachings. So the ancient way is what they've been shown. When I take you out, so there's 4 elements. You know how we've got the 4 elements, earth, wind, fire, earth. So when I'm doing the ceremony, I have the feathers and I have the if there's no candle, there'll be a sacred fire. But in Australia, we cannot use the fire. And sacred fire is so sacred. It's a spirit energy. So when I'm creating, for example, just say out on the lands, and I'm permitted to create the sacred fire. When I create it, I'm chanting and I'm thanking Gaia, and I create it. So it's the 4 directions and in between. It's almost like a clock. But it's very important because it's calling on the energies from above and soul below to be in ceremony with you all, with that soul. And so when I'm calling on the guardians to come in and we're recanting and we're doing the forgiveness. So when I'm doing that, you are recanting with me. And it takes you back to those dimensions, lifetimes in this life. So when you do the forgiveness, it's removing those energetic cords. Now some souls will see it, some souls will feel it, the energy coming out of the avatar. Some will smell it. Sometimes I'll smell it. So when I'm healing, I'm a receiver of your energy. I'm a receiver, so I will receive all that dark energy coming out. So you'll expel, you know, when I say you'll expel this way, sometimes you'll actually Yes, absolutely, because it's been sitting here. And of course your other chakra points. So it comes out because you have pure intent. You want to go forward in your life. You're accepting the duality of those past lives. The negative and the good. You're accepting it by saying, I did this. Now I'm seeing that I can remove this connection, but not to send it back to that soul. It must go up to the divine light. Once you complete that, and like I said, ceremony can be 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. It's not. I cannot give you a timeline. When it's complete, you will feel different. Once you've completed it, because some people write it down. I get the soul to write it down, and it's a lot of remembrance. It's a lot of things that you will remember. You know, like I said, some go to the birth. Some will even remember from when they are coming from spirit realm to the mother, because they can hear it. I don't want that baby. I don't want that baby. So they can hear it from spirit realm. So it'll be taken all the way back. That's why I go to your first incarnation, meaning your light creation, all the way to this life. So in ceremony, all this has been said and done. Then we burn it. It must be burnt. That energy gets cleared. And I'm smudging you with the sacred feather. Not this particular one. There's one that's been gifted to me to assist in the healing of removing it as well. So you'll see me purge because I'm receiving a lot of the dark energy. You'll see me get very sick. Sometimes it depends on how severe that energy is from that soul or past life. I'm receiving it. This is my agreement to do this for the souls. When it's complete, then there's the water ceremony. The water ceremony is your new contract. So to answer that question, the old contract is gone. That's the first ceremony. The second ceremony is your water ceremony. Is the blessing and purification now of this avatar body. Same thing, you're going to be dipped in the water. Most of the time it's better in the ocean because it's pure, it's sacred salts. If you can't go to the ocean, I teach you the remembrance how to create holy water. The holy water will be blessed because I'll teach you that knowledge. And once you bless yourself and meditate that 10-15 minutes in your bath, that gets cleansed and purified. And then your new contract is written, which is great. Now you have to be very clear with what you want, the wording. So I teach you that as well, how to word it. And it's wonderful, it's exciting. It takes hours and hours because it's like a whole day with you.
So do you do this in groups or individually?
Individually, because it's so personalized. You know, what you're seeking in your life is different to another soul. Some people, want to have marriage, they want to have children. Some people go, well, I've done that. I'm not seeking that in my life. So it's individual for your soul. So the new contract is wonderful because I teach the remembrance how to seek keywords, what you seek in this life once you've cut the old energy, the old contract. And it's awesome. I think it is because I did mine. I'm excited. I've done mine. Yeah.
How do you protect yourself from all the dark energy from other people? I mean, I find if I'm around negative, not so nice people, it just drags me down and, I sink. So, how do you protect yourself?
Okay. I teach this as well, the remembrance. So, hence the visualizing of you in a golden light bubble. One, smudge yourself when you get home, and sometimes you don't even need to smudge yourself. Your own higher self will tell you you've got attachments. Alright?
You can smudge yourself for a second.
Okay, yes. Okay. So some people will get a feather, and I will pass that on here to. It's a tool, and what it does basically, the chant. I can assist with the chant, and you cleansing. So, for example, I have sage in my hand. And I teach the remembrance of the old ways. So the left, as I was teaching some people before, was you receive and you give out. Left is the heart, we receive. Right is to give out. So I teach how to smudge the ancient way and how to cleanse it away from you. So energies will get attached here. They like to hide. Yes, which is okay. It's all right. They can hide, but they can't hide. They can't hide. You're light. So you've got the power. The dark doesn't have power. We've been taught the opposite. So remember I said it's reprogramming those ideas.
So you don't use sound or Tibetan bells or anything?
No, but I can assist
sound.
you how to speak to your bells.
Well, yeah, I've got singing bowls,
Yeah,
which
they'll
I
talk to you.
resonate. They
they'll-
chose me.
Yes.
They chose me.
Together, both you. Yes, so I teach how to activate them. You'll hear them talking to you. They'll tell you, today I need to be cleansed, put me in water. So, okay.
I put them in the sun.
And water, needs water. So you put in one element, it needs to be cleansed with water. Bless it out. Yes, so it'll tell you. Once I activate with the sacred chant, it will tell you, oh, I haven't been cleansed. Same with your crystals. You have not put me out. They'll talk to you because it's an energy of creation. And then if it's for yourself, it's very different to when you're doing healings for other people. Like this is mine for now. I'm just a keeper. It's not mine, but I'm a keeper of it. The ones that I do for healings are different. It's an albatross. These are albatross feathers that are being gifted. So the albatross, the one I have, is very large because of the healing that it's doing. That crystal or singing bowl is saying to me, it needs water. And something else, the bowels. Because I've assisted someone recently with the bowels. It too needed cleansing. So because it's removing energy, it's still attached.
Yeah, the metal.
Yes, it's still attached. So even if you're doing self-healing, they're still attached to your sacred tools.
Can you visualise the white and blue light around your...
Any light, yes.
Because that's very protective.
Yes, that's blue, yes, and especially the golden light. It's the time of the golden age once again. Yes, so yes.
So how do you cleanse the feather?
Same thing. When it gets, you'll see your feather change color. By the way, with mine, I'll see it'll go this grey color when I'm smudging self. So I have the water and I'll rinse it out. Sometimes I'll use a natural soap, that's not chemicals, and we'll see the dirt or the grey come out. Also because if you're smudging and you're using a sacred medicine, so the smoke will come onto it as well. But they're happy, they'll tell you, I'm happy you're cleansing me. Your medicine as well. About sacred medicines, there's also an activation with your sacred medicines, and there's male and female medicine as well. Same, the sage medicine, most people just use male. I don't think they have the remembrance of that. The male is thicker, the female is a thinner sage. To use the two in combination is much better because it's the balance of the two, because we are male and female within. The medicines will tell you, I need sage, I need cedar, birch. It will tell you because of your vibration. So most souls will just use one, and when it's not activated, the medicine's actually doing nothing for you, by the way. People have been believed that it's doing something, but it's not. What I seek from this sacred medicine is to remove these negative energies out of my sacred space now. And then you do an offering of a gift to it. When you open up all the cupboards, it will show you whether your door is east or south, it will show you, and then you smudge the whole house. So that's what I also do, is teach the remembrance how to smudge houses and land, because the ancestors lived here before, and there's been trauma on lands. So when we don't get a permission, what happens, souls will wander through. This is my house. Things will move. Keys go missing, and you think, I know I put the key there. Where'd you go? So there's good spirits that will just trick you because they're happy to, tricksters, because that's happened to me. The little ones were playing with my feathers because they create dream catchers. But then there's the opposite that will say, well, I don't like you here. You need to go, it's my home. So that soul is seeking ascension. Or it's an opposite. When I say opposite, it really doesn't want you there. It's not happy that you're so joyful, that you got this wonderful house. So it'll do everything to get you miserable. So these things need to go. So we bless the land and we say, thank you, Gaia, for giving me this beautiful land. I thank the ancestors that have been here and are still here. Because, like, for example, here, there was trauma here. There was people living here many moons ago before any person, other nationalities came forward. And the trauma is really very strong. I feel it. When I arrived back in Australia, like I said, I had to go to Uluru and I had to do forgiveness. And then along Great Ocean Road. Now, a lot of souls, if you do remember about the Great Ocean Road, there was a lot of prior ancestors living near the ocean front. Now, they were massacred in such a horrific way. So when I go to places, I feel their trauma. So if they were raped, I experience it. If they were cut, I experience it. And then I need healing after that experience. But my soul has agreed to that. And I come along and I assist the ascension. And this light, which is not mine, it's God's source, shifts the energy there. So it's very humbling. I've got to always stay grounded. I've got to always remember that I am just the vessel. I'm not above any soul. I come and I do the ancient way of blessing the ground. So I don't know if that's been shown to any of you or seen anything in the past where I'll kneel down. I will touch my third eye to the ground because it's the ancestors below that have been buried here or any land I go. And I do let them know I come in peace and harmony and I'm grateful to be here and may I have permission. So any place you go, please just honor these sacred sites anywhere in the world. Uluru is very sacred, by the way. Yeah. She's the root chakra of Gaia. She's our... So when you call to go to Gaia, to Uluru, they're seeking you to find your path. Your higher self is calling you. It's a beautiful place. There's water under Uluru, so the ancestors of this land don't want the mining companies to mine because of the sacred waters. Those sacred waters will rise one day because where there was land will be water. Where there's water will be drought. So I'm going to correlate to the story about water. The message is that the humans have raped Mother Earth and she's had enough. She has said no more. But she's also evolving, ascending with all of us. So when you're evolving and you're moving, there'll be water in places and there'll be no water in some places. So where this is happening in your videos, you're talking about where they're showing people this, it's very dry now, it's because she's had enough. You've been so greedy, humans. No more. That's the message, no more. This is her way of saying you've done enough damage. You're not a bad person, but you've done enough damage. Learn your lessons. You've done this 4 times before. We're not going to accept it no more. But so it's just letting us know that there's a better way. What we used to do many, many lifetimes ago, we were one with Gaia. And that's what we're returning back to. Very slow process, very slow. We like kindergarten at the moment. Kindergarten, so enjoy the ride. Don't be upset, don't be angry and say it should happen now. It's all about divine timing and it's going, it's moving. The wheels are in motion. Just enjoy every ride of it. So hold on hold on tight and saying, you know what, this is awesome. Or,
Play in the playground.
oh yeah, like the Australians, how they say bloody awesome, you know. In that way, meaning this is awesome, that we are doing this together. It's not a single soul that has brought this golden light once again. We've all done it together. So yes to all your questions. Yes, because I'm feeling a lot of questions still going.
Diana, you know, crystals in your home, the stones, how do you cleanse them? I've realised I got some crystals at home, like I've got an amethyst near my bed and there's another black crystal at my door, but I've never cleaned any of them, so I dread to think what's stuck on them.
They love you, by the way. All your crystals, wands, staffs, feathers that you get gifted. So there is the water cleansing, which I can pass that on to you. The water is placing them. I have the chant that changes the vibration of water. So if anyone is interested to know this, because Source would like me to pass this knowledge on, we can actually heal water.
Lovely.
So the more of you, say 100 of us go to, say, any part in Australia, for example, any part here in Melbourne, right? It's not going to take us too long. We place our hands in the water and we say the sacred chant. And what we're seeking is for this water to be activated with unconditional love, and then I give the words. You will see it change, you will feel it change, including your drinking water. We don't have to pay a cent for water. We're not supposed to pay for water. It's a crime.
So where can we get this chant from you then?
Me, anytime. The chant is, to be used mindfully with pure intent. This is why the guardians gave you to me.
Is it one-on-one or just a group?
One-on-one, because it depends if someone wants the healings, because I've got to explain how to use it.
Oh.
There's a process, there's a protocol, because sometimes you can use something and go, it's not working. Well, if your intent is not pure, it won't work. If you have anything hidden, it won't work. So I can pass it. I don't have an issue to pass it on. It's what you do with it. And if you use it in the improper way, they will not gift it to you. You can chant away, but it will not be gifted, if that makes sense to anyone. I don't own it. I'm there to share it. And it's how you implement it in your life. If it brings you joy, that's the main reason, to bring you joy, to empower you, because eventually when you practice like a motorbike or bicycle, we practice, in the end you're going to walk and run, you go for walks, you go for runs, you can chant. You can chant because it's a portal open, it's an energy. And you say, what I'm seeing now before me, there's destruction in this park. I'm seeing negative here, or feeling negative. What I'm seeking from the divine guardians is to assist this energy to be removed. And the guardians come and they do it. The ones who are gifted seers will see it and feel it. The ones who are just awakening may not feel it as such, but you still will feel it because you are trusting, you are surrendering to God's source. But the others will say, wow, I saw, or I saw the guardians, whether they appeared to you in that way, whether they appeared to you as grandfather, it's what you will be shown. I can't tell you, well, there'll just be one guardian. No, it's infinite. So yes, the chant will be passed on and practiced, and you can drive and chant. Protection, I can pass that on but you've got to visualize yourself with this golden light or blue and white light.
So where are you based?
Everywhere.
Well, if I got an appointment next week, where do I
at the moment,
physically?
at the moment, this wonderful soul can't. I'm in Cranbourne, but I'll meet you halfway. Like I'll come to you, so to speak. I'll do everything to sort of make it easier. I leave to the US on the 26th of May.
I leave at Melbourne.
Yes. And then this Saturday on the 30th, I go for 6 days to New Zealand. That's another little part of me that's assisting the planet. So I assist souls, but I also assist the planet in another way, which is for another.
You also said earlier about the 4 elements, and you said, which I thought was, I didn't quite understand, that you can't use fire element in Australia.
Yes, because
about fire bans.
Yes, because like when I'm creating the ceremony and to create the actual fire, it's very dry here. So Australia doesn't allow. And it depends if you own the property and you would like to have that created. I can do that. So instead of doing that, Spirit has shown me that I can have a white candle in ceremony, and that represents still a sacred fire because it's the flame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then once you finish your contract, you burn it, the old contract. So yes, so it is flexible because in America I've created sacred fires. They don't have an issue. It's mostly here where I can't create it on someone's property. I can't do that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes. So I can do the other ways, having a white candle, or if I'm not there, if I'm doing it remotely over the phone, I can assist you and pass it on, but I'm with you, if that makes sense. So the day that we choose a time to do this, so it's over the phone, this energy goes everywhere, like creator source. I'm not, when you say permanent, so I will connect to you, even on the phone, Skype, anyway.
Oh, right.
Yes. So I'm with you. I send this energy to you. So I'm talking it through with you in the ceremony. The sacred bath is different. I will give you how to create your sacred waters. I'll give you instructions, and Spirit will choose the day and time. I don't choose the day. I don't choose the time. It's all in alignment, it's all in alignment with the stars for your soul. So they'll say, yes, in 2 weeks, this day, this time. And mostly what I've been shown, it'll be like 11 o'clock, master number, or it'll be sometimes 3 o'clock. So it's all in alignment. Ceremony sometimes will be at 9 p.m. at night, like now with the moon energy. So sometimes I'll be shown with the soul to do it by 9. So by the time I'm finished, it's just after 12. Big shift, because the moon energy, as you know, is rich. It's the rebirthing. You're getting rid of the old contract and you're birthing into the new. So the moon energy is very important in ceremony as well. When it's not around, when it's not around, if you know what I mean, it's not around, but it is around, physical eyes, but it's still there. They'll still show me the day and time to do it with you.
Diana, what about a climate change? We are producing so much of plastic, and I can't see this becoming any less. So where we are heading towards? What's the outcome of this?
The outcome is that we win and we do change. As I was saying before, we're just in the baby stages of changing and remembering how to treat Gaia better. So we are like I said in the beginning. If you look at what's happening, there's a lot of I don't want to say new souls. There's a lot of souls being birthed with the knowledge and the inventions that's happening to clean up the oceans, to clean up how to reuse plastic. Have you seen those that are out now? There's quite a few on them. So in Africa, which they've shown, there's a lot of that happening in Africa. You'll be surprised. They're recycling tires, creating wonderful things with tires. In Brazil, not Brazil, there's one of the Latin countries, Mexico, they are recycling, the avocado, the seed, into reusable utensils. So it is happening on the planet. As I said to you before, the light has won. So you've got to trust Gaia and trust Creator Source. And not cry, because many souls are crying about Gaia. No, she's been here before. She's always here, whether there's humans or not. We channel unconditional love. So in those moments when you see channel unconditional love, we all have that gift of sending love to that area. For example, Mount Everest. You all know what's happening in Mount Everest. So many souls have died there. So much garbage has been dumped. Humans, greed, selfish, don't care. That is a sacred mountain. It's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful mountains on earth. She's a gift. So by sitting in your meditation, you can say, what I seek is blue light to go to Mount Everest, and you can visualize it. We all have this gift of doing that. What I seek is to assist the souls in Tibet, because there is souls in Tibet suffering. So you channel that energy from your heart, not the mind, here. That's how you assist the planet. That's how you assist you to remember to stay in balance with you as well when you have those thoughts or behaviors. So it's all about self. And then you...
What about the overlap with animal souls? Do we, like I said, an overlap with humans and animals, and I think of all the animals suffering. It's massive. Where do they overlap with humans?
Okay, they're divine souls, different to human. We've never been an animal, by the way. You may have been taught, I've been reincarnated by a dog, or I've been a cat, and so untrue. The divine beings are so beautiful and pure. So by showing compassion, empathy, and channeling that energy to those places where they continue to take animals for their own. As you see in Africa, the US has changed that agreement. Okay, so we forgive him. We forgive Trump for changing that agreement to stop the hunting. He's now said, yes, it's fine to hunt animals in Africa. He's changed that. Okay, so we forgive him. And the animal kingdom know they've been sacrificed, by the way, because they're so pure. So the ones that still choose to eat meat, the animal kingdom know they've been sacrificed. They know very well. There'll come a time we will not consume any meat. We will be back to our light bodies. The animal kingdom sacrifice, so I'll do what they do because I carry the buffalo energy. So there was a time in creation where there was not enough food because of humans. And the buffalo laid down and spoke, I will give you of myself to feed you. That's what it did. So it gave. It laid down. So when you're in tune with the animal, they will lay down because it understands that it's a food for now. However, in this timeline, we don't need to consume them at all. When an animal is cut, and I had to experience this, by the way, when it is cut, that energy is transmitted into their flesh, how they were killed. So when you consume it, you're actually consuming that energy. So this is hence why people are aggressive, and et cetera, which I won't go much into, but I had to experience that. I could smell them, I could hear them, and when I say hear them, I could hear their heartbeat. So this happened to me in 2011, that I consumed a small piece of meat and then I, got shot. I can hear this. It's not my heartbeat. I said to my daughter, it's not your heartbeat. It was what I consumed. So Source was allowing me to return to the medicine woman that I am, always have been, in that sense, that for me to come before you, I am to have clean body. I am to have light body, to channel clearly. to be in balance with my true self. So I had to experience that. Then I had to experience when I ate egg, which was another horrific moment. And then when I ate seafood, I had to experience that because I heard it. I heard it cry. And that was huge for me. You know, hearing it and telling it I don't want to be eaten. And wow. So for my personal journey, I knew that this had to be a change. And I had to wean myself off it because, you know, the idea being taught, you are to eat meat, you get iron from it, and so forth. So I had to unprogram that idea to me. And those that see it and feel it and understand what I express now. So it's not feeling sad for them, it's understanding. They've understood this for many, many, many lifetimes. And we will stop doing it. Yeah, it's a gift given back to self.
I've got chickens at home and I eat their eggs. They're happy chickens.
Which is okay. Remember I said to you about free will? I'm not permitted to tell you you must not eat. I express my journey and I express what creation is showing us. And if you're happy and you feel that they're happy, that's fine.
I kind of do feel like eating their eggs because they're the happiest chickens in the world.
This one, see what I'm saying to you, I'm honouring you, your free will. There's no anger, there's nothing here when you express that. I'm expressing love to you, I'm hearing you, but I'm hearing you here. When you smile, I'm seeing joy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So I'm not going, oh my gosh, no, nothing's coming from this. I'm saying that's your free will. You know, and
I don't eat them. I don't eat them. I can't eat my own chickens. But I can eat the eggs.
Well, the egg is the chicken. It's coming from...
Chicken and egg.
So you don't have Kentucky Fried Egg.
In time. It's all about free will.
But most of the animals eat vegetables anyway, so you may as well go straight to the vegetables.
Free will, yes, eventually, you know, the planet will evolve to that moment of people saying, well, I choose not to, and as they evolve, yes. And so you're not a bad person at all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We had a saying, there are no mistakes, there are only lessons in learning. Yes, we were taught that, all of us, yes. It's all about experiences and learning. And that expression that we're all students and teachers. Every soul is a student and a teacher. And we will continue to learn, even in your next incarnations, by the way. It's exciting.
So if there's like food intolerances and things that make it hard to eat some vegetarian sources, is there, like, that can be healed?
Yes, a karma. There's no intolerance to food. It was taught. If you remember growing up as kids, did anyone have a problem with peanut butter, egg, peanuts? No. It just has evolved to this, that there's this intolerance.
A lot of food's been genetically modified now. I mean,
correct.
The egg and peanut allergies are from the vaccines because that's how they produce a lot of them. So I mean, that's what I think. I mean, that just makes logical sense. If you're going to inject that into a newborn baby, that's probably.
And see how the mothers carried it.
That's what I think anyway.
Yep, the mothers carried that as well. Remember, when she got vaccinated, it's been passed down.
If you're going to inject peanut protein directly into a newborn baby, I think that's pretty logical.
It's a little bit beyond, but I'll leave that for now. It's more, but it's been passed down. So the mother's been vaccinated, okay? Her mother's been vaccinated, her father's been vaccinated. So this is not a new thing.
Oh no, I'm not saying it.
But there's lots more now, though. Many more.
Because they've mixed it.
Absolutely. And they're giving loads more.
No, I'm not.
So you know about the depopulation.
Of course.
That's the agenda that they're.
Agenda 21.
Of course.
Yes, but Spirit is not going to allow it, so it's okay.
So that's like sitting in our DNA or something.
Correct.
We can shift that.
Yes. That's it. Yes.
everything's so highly processed today, whereas in my time, in the very young years, everything was fresh and off the trees and cooked from mum from scratch.
But we still have that choice.
Yeah, so people in too much of a hurry to be bothered to, you know, steam their vegetables and things like that, you know, they just go and buy takeaway.
Well, here's the gift that Source has given all of you today. You know, the gift is the sacred chant. The sacred chant changes the vibration of all foods. I think you know. There's certain souls that go, so that sacred chant, when you chant it, changes. So, you know, the professor who spoke to the water and sang to the water. Okay, so it's a vibration. Okay, yes, yes, yes. It changed. Correct. Yes. Now, this is ancient knowledge. It's not new. Yes. So this chant is a vibration. I don't buy bottled water. I chant into the water. And you can use crystals when guided. There's certain crystals that you can place in your glass bottle and chant into it as well. So if you're seeking to have like rose quartz, you can pop the rose quartz. Rose is to do with heart, you know, unconditional love. You can place it together, left hand over it and chant. And you'll see that energy change. So you can do that with all your foods, by the way.
Is it the same chant for all of them?
Correct.
Are you going to let us know?
If I teach it, you've got to know how to say it and when to say it. So, for example, this is the cupboard. You can place your left hand and you're chanting, and when you're chanting, after you say, what I seek is to remove all impurities that were placed in these foods. Now, what I seek, you go to the next level, what I seek is to replace it with vitamins B12, B6 and so forth, folate, all the healthy stuff, the minerals that has been taken out. And you can add unconditional love, gratitude, all the wonderful things, joyfulness. So once you do that, you will feel it because you're chanting, you will feel it. And you've got to wait a couple of minutes, 10 minutes or so, or maybe less, because what it's doing, if this room is filled with darkness, it takes time to remove it into the light. Once you say 10 minutes, you'd feel a difference. You'll see the difference of the water as well. You'll taste the difference. You won't have the smell of fluoride and all those other things that they put in.
Chlorine.
Yes, so it goes back to its original, from the beginning of its light creation.
What about just writing the words love, joy, purity on the outside of the containers of the water? I read with the rice experiment that they did that, and with the water experiment they did that. You know, they write something negative on the
That's
water
correct.
one, and then they looked at the crystals and they're really horrible, and then they did love on the other one and it was all beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's imparting a vibrational frequency anyway into those things, your intention as well.
Yes.
By writing on it and sticking it on the bottle or whatever it is.
You don't have to stick it on the bottle. It's the intent.
Yeah.
If I chant now,
Yeah.
and I've set it to all of those items,
Yeah.
it's already there. I don't need to keep leaving it there.
I was just like, you know, on
Yes.
YouTube, you see that's what they did with that experiment, you know.
Yes.
So
You've
they're
already...
getting something out there to people. aren't
Correct, yes. So you can chant, and the intent, because you put, the guardians clean up the vibration. They clean up, spirit does. It's cleaned. So it's like a washing machine, so to speak, and it ascends up. So every time you do purchase something, same thing with your crystals, you can place your left hand. If it's for yourself, the crystal will tell you, this is for me, this is for you. And if you have someone in mind, the same thing, it will say, yep, that blue one, because she or he needs that blue crystal. It'll say why. Sometimes, people are not in balance, so it'll say, well, it needs blue because then you can write a little card
So this is what I pass on. And you can place the crystals on your chakra points and self-heal. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay.
In response to some of the questions that have been raised, some of the information we've worked with is telling us, a highly evolved society will use metaphysics in the way it works its society, but the danger we've got now is materialism, and we, as a very primitive, unevolved race, in some ways.
I'm saying no. We've never been primitive. Never have, never will be.
I think you mentioned something about it before.
No, I didn't use the word primitive.
We're just coming out of baby stages. That's what I meant.
Yes, remembering. Meaning, so it's not primitive.
Yeah.
Words are very, very, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're remembering our true self. So we're in the babies, when I say baby stages of remembering. So
yes.
we're going back into that, oh wow, we are divine, always have been, always will be. So not primitive at all.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the baby stages, that's the better term. But the danger that we've got
No danger.
is, well...
No danger. That particular word is implementing fear and separation. So I don't use that word. I'm not permitted to use it. So there's no danger. The minute you use a negative word, you create a negative. The minute you say danger, it's an energy. So I'm seeking the guidance to remove that energy right now, because this room is all love. You're all love before me. So there's no danger. All you have to do in your life is trust source, trust surrender, be true to self. Everything is working out. Everything's on schedule. Nothing's off schedule. Everything is playing out the way it's supposed to be. So for your own journey, for yourself, is to always remember you will always have your challenges. It's how you deal with your challenges, how you implement the positive words and actions and thoughts to yourself, because once you do that, it goes out. But if you start to think negative or use negative words, you now then go into that energy. So I choose not to accept it. That's me.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the depopulation agenda.
I mentioned that we're in the baby stages of remembering, so not a negative word. I'm saying collectively we are in the baby stages of remembering. We're doing this together, so it's a positive. I'm giving the affirmation that we are all together in remembering our true self. We are remembering how to self-heal. We are remembering that we are one people of creation, that we're on the sacred wheel of creation. None of us are below or above. We are together on this wheel. And we do it together in a way that is in harmony, balance, especially with self, right? But the moment we, which is self, the moment you start to go, oh, there's danger, oh, there's this, you create it. Then that negative comes to you, then you say, why did I get into a car accident? Why did I, you created that. You brought it forth.
Yeah, but he wanted to ask a question.
Yes, but I answered. Keep going. I answered the question.
All right. Well, let's say this is some of the material we've studied over the last, well, actually, it goes back 20 years, but this particular book was published only a couple of years ago. It's the latest in the Conversations with God series, called Awakening the Species. And it talks about what's very strong at the moment is technology, right? And we need to advance spiritually as well as technologically, not just technologically. Otherwise, we could become a slave race to technology.
What is your question, George? I'm still waiting for your question. I didn't get a question.
Okay.
To quickly...
Can I just say something? it feels like you're putting the power in the external, where the power is within us.
Of course, yeah. Of course, the power is
If
internal.
you make the external world more powerful than your own purity.
Saying if we don't evolve spiritually in time, we're in trouble.
What it said, what this information
AI
says
and all that stuff.
is there are many races in the universe that have evolved technologically,
Yeah.
but not spiritually. And in which case, they become super races,
Yeah, but
and they can actually
yeah.
go to other planets.
But with no heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by working together and using metaphysics, we can prevent that. Yeah.
I'm on Facebook.
So, yeah. I'm trying to keep positive frame of mind on it.
Are you saying, George, that might make us very special?
Nothing special about it. That's our free will. We can choose to go with
If the universes are mostly technological and we tend to be different, then maybe we are a little bit different.
Sorry?
Special is a funny word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I didn't quite hear that. Yeah.
Just to talk about technology. I'm going to answer some questions about technology.
Yeah,
This is very old technology. It's very old. It's not new. And every technology is a pathway. So Creator Source gifted us this to connect with each other. It's how you use it. Like I said, everything is a sacred tool. A phone is a tool. How do you use it? Computers, your laptops, and how do you use it? Every social media. Your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. How do you use this information? How do you assist it to assist you in your life? People are being controlled by it because they are allowing it. We have free will. So Creator Source gifted us this. This technology, like I said, is very old, and you'll laugh in about 20 years from now. You're going to have a good laugh. Very good laugh.
Laughing when they said we'd have plastic money.
I don't want that chip. I'm not going to be chipped, I can tell you that.
I had a vision in 2009 when they showed, and there's quite a few of us on the planet because I've had visions since, continue. The shift happened in 2012, so the old visions that were given to us will not happen in the so-called. The vision I was given when I was very young, that was written by the Hopis as well, that there'll be the one man. And I saw that, I felt that. 2014-15, I was shown that vision. Now that's not going to happen because we've done the shift. 2012 is when we did this collectively. The other vision that some people have seen or felt it. With this technology, here it's going to advance, that's a given. And it's going to be what you see, there's a word. It's going to be more intelligent, but it'll never be a human. It'll be integrated, that's a given. It'll talk back to you. Yes, so everything, yes.
Are you talking about like artificial intelligence?
Correct. But we are not going to destroy ourselves, what has been taught or what's been programmed for you to believe.
Well, at one stage that might have happened, but we've transcended that.
Yeah. So all the technology you have here, be aware it's a tool for you in how you use the sacred tool in your life. And how you can pass on this knowledge to the youth. Because everything's coming at them really fast. The message is for us to actually assist the youth in remembering that it's just a tool. It's not 24/7. It is tricky because I've got 2 daughters, so it is tricky with the younger ones. They're very, I know, you don't know. Yeah. My sort of my message to everyone today is I am very grateful to all of you. This is from my heart to every soul, your children or grandchildren, and the ancestors that are here with us. My grandfather's here in spirit realm. They're all here, the guardians, because I asked them to come. I asked your ancestors to all come. So I'm very grateful, because the seed of knowledge, of remembrance has been planted. So I'm in gratitude. Every lifetime that you've been with me, I'm in gratitude. All the lifetimes to come, I'm in gratitude, because I will see you again. So I'm always going to be in gratitude to all of you. And I thank you from my very soul for all your journeys, every journey that you have walked on this earth and beyond. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Yeah, I had to learn so much, you know. There was a time where I said, I know I'm a healer. And I really thought I was at that stage. But I had to learn my lesson to say, not yet. At much of my own clearing. So this is why I can speak before all of you, that I had so much clearing of self to do. And the memories were from very young, saying, I know, I'm a teacher, I know, you know, and then having the visions, and then coming to be on the path, but self-heal. So on the path, and still self-heal and self-learn. So it's a continuous, it never stops. Oh no. And that's the gift. It's not a burden, never has been a burden. It's an awesome, you know, I just see energies. It's nice energies.
This is